This is Terrence Archer Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions, coming today talking a bit about Bitcoin. Now, I've done some videos about Bitcoin in the past, but it's definitely because of its exposure and just how revolutionary it is, it's definitely worth talking about again. The question remains, and it comes up a lot, is should I buy Bitcoin? And hopefully in this video, I'm going to go over a couple of pros and cons to help you make your decision a little bit easier. I always like to start from positive, so let's begin with some of the pros of Bitcoin. As I mentioned, Bitcoin is revolutionary. It's first of its kind, truly first digital currency outside of the banking sector. And it has a fixed amount, so you have to worry about inflation or someone tampering with that. Once you get to a certain amount, it's actually going to stop at that. That's what the ideology behind it when the creator done Bitcoin. His name escapes me at the time. Number two, it's been embraced by the millennials. And why I stress that is because as a pro, is because millennials in the United States have now surpassed the baby boomers in terms of the largest generation. So it's embraced by them. Demographics control economies, and that's the largest demographic coming, and they're going to probably make a lot of decisions just like the baby boomers did for the economy in the United States. Number three, Bitcoin, since it's the first of its kind, I believe it's going to last the longest, even though there's a lot of digital cryptocurrencies coming after it, Bitcoin's being the first. It allows them to, I believe it's going to last the test of time. It's really embraced by the tech world, and those are good factors. Number four, and this is probably one of the most important, Bitcoin can be transacted anywhere in the world. It's efficient and it's safe and securely. Those three different things in terms of your transaction is pivotal. And the reason why I stress that is because if you look at any other currency, and gold and silver can be considered a currency in this case, even though it's not. It's actually a form of money, but gold and silver just use that as currency because we transact with that. You have to worry about storage, theft, and even with other paper currencies, with dollars and yen or any other, you have to also worry about storage and theft again. So essentially with the Bitcoin, if you can memorize your particular phrase, your Bitcoin phrase, and that, you're allowed to essentially don't have to worry about those different factors. You can transact anywhere in the world. So those are some of the pros. There's probably a lot more. Those are the ones that come to my mind, and when I think about when it comes about the Bitcoin. With every pro, there's always a con. So let's begin with talking about some of the cons to help you make your decision. One, it's hard to determine, because of Bitcoin's price fluctuations, it's hard to determine real value. Now, a lot of people will say Bitcoin is going to 14,000, 16,000, 20,000, and I'm not here to dispute that. But because of the price fluctuation, it's hard to determine that value, and I think anybody can agree with that. Number two, you also have to worry about government crackdowns. We're already seeing that happen in China with Bitcoin itself, and that's to be expected because it's new, and they haven't found a way, as all governments try to do, to control it. So that's a factor, and you have to take that into consideration when you're making any kind of purchase. Number three, Bitcoin is, at this current time, it doesn't scale. The cryptocurrencies made the claim that it can scale. Bitcoin does not scale. So that's another con that you actually have to deal with. Number four is price. And I mentioned price again because the price of it is extremely high at this time, over 4,000 a coin. With that, because it's over 4,000 a coin, it's a strong barrier of entry for most people to get involved with it. With that being said, that also leads to another con, because not only does the price is being that high, that jumping the scale again, it goes back to that value. How do you determine value for Bitcoin with being that? Another con is that there's no barrier to entry. There's over 800 different cryptocurrencies came out, and that's a con. Again, as I said in the pros, that I believe Bitcoin will stand the test of time. I do have to mention that there's no barrier to entry, that there's no moat to kind of keep people from trying to copy, as we already seen the space. Another con is Bitcoin has not proven itself, I should say, if a market correction goes on. And we haven't had one, and we're overdue. This is going on. This is the third, actually we'll move now to the second largest expansion in United States history without any correction. With that being said, each day that passes without a correction, you have more likely for a large correction to occur. We still don't know how Bitcoin is going to perform through that. So that's a con. You have to take that into consideration when doing that. With that being said, those cons, I still believe that Bitcoin will prove its test of time. Revolutionary. It's the most efficient and secure way to transact, but those cons need to be discussed. So, conclusion to this, you make your bet, you make your decision, take the cons in consideration, and do your due diligence when you're making any purchase, Bitcoin included. With that being said, until my next video, I'm out.